African savanna predators fight to keep the kill animal documentary. In the Okavango, a mother cheetah presses low into the grass. As an antelope herd stops at the waterline, she has only a few seconds to launch. But those few seconds do not decide everything. If the prey falls, the scent of blood begins to spread. Hyenas may arrive, lions may emerge from tall grass, and the fastest animal on land may still be forced to abandon its own meal. On the African savanna, every advantage carries its own cost. Speed, the pack, darkness, strength, patience, memory. None of them is enough to win forever. From the Okavango to Kruger, from the Mara River to the alkaline lakes of Kenya, life does not belong to the strongest species. It belongs to the species that can change its method before the conditions change first. The Okavango is a strange land. Water from the Angolan highlands travels a long route, then never reaches the sea. It spreads into the Kalahari, turning dry ground into channels, grasslands, and gathering points for countless grazers. When water arrives, antelope, zebras, and buffalo follow. Behind them come cheetahs, lions, hyenas, and wild dogs. Where food gathers, competition also intensifies. The cheetah is built for speed, but not simple straight-line speed alone. A flexible spine lets the body compress and release through each stride. A broad chest holds large lungs and a powerful heart. Semi-retractable claws grip the ground. The long tail stabilizes the body when prey cuts sharply away. That weapon is sharp, but its cost is just as clear. The lighter the body, the faster the cheetah can accelerate. Because it is light, the cheetah cannot contest a kill against lions for long. It cannot hold ground against hyenas with the same force. It may be the first predator to reach the prey, but not always the last one allowed to feed. The female cheetah edges forward. The wind favors her. The antelope have not detected the approach. Then she explodes from the grass. The antelope herd breaks formation. The young animal veers wide. The cheetah closes, leaning into the turn, dust rises. When the grass settles again, the prey lies beneath her feet. The hunt is over only for the prey. For the cheetah, another contest begins immediately. In 2013, research in Nature showed that the cheetah's advantage is not only maximum speed, but acceleration and turning performance. In the wild, however, the prey's turn often decides the hunt. An antelope does not need to outrun a cheetah. It only has to change direction at the right instant. This time, the female cheetah has beaten that turn, but victory gives her no time. Blood begins to call other animals in. Hyenas can follow the scent. Lions can emerge from tall grass. The cheetah cannot drag the kill into a tree like a leopard. It cannot call an entire pack to defend the carcass like wild dogs. It can only eat fast before the reward changes ownership. Robin Hetham's work on cheetah body temperature changed the older understanding of overheating. The major temperature rise did not come mainly from the sprint itself. It came after the prey had fallen. When the cheetah had to stand between the prize and the pressure of theft. The female cheetah lowers her head and tears away mouthfuls. She eats like an animal with no ownership of time. Each piece of meat is a chance for her cubs. Each lift of the head is another measurement of distance from shadows that have not yet appeared. Speed carried her to the prey. But the Okavango does not ask who runs fastest. This land asks a harder question. Who can keep the reward once the entire grassland learns there is blood? One wild dog is not powerful, but the pack can turn prey fatigue into a trap. At the edge of the Okavango waterlands, the female wild dog stands near the den entrance. Large ears rise, collecting every sound from the grassland. Behind her, pups lie in the earth shade. They cannot join the hunt yet, but every hunt returns to them. The adults begin to move. No noise, no display of strength. Mottled bodies stand, look toward one another, and leave the resting site in one direction. Each individual carries a unique coat pattern. No two are the same, but when they run, they are no longer separate bodies. They become pressure. African wild dogs do not depend on a short burst like a cheetah. They do not need to be the fastest animal on the savannah. Their strategy is to keep pressure longer than prey can withstand. An antelope may escape the first strike. Escaping a pack that keeps appearing at the exact moment the body wants to rest is far more difficult. The hunt ends quickly. What comes next is even more urgent. They feed fast. Sound around a carcass can draw hyenas. Blood scent can pull lions closer. For wild dogs, winning the chase has never guaranteed the meal. A lion pride can erase that effort through presence alone. Even so, the strength of wild dogs does not live only in the pursuit. It lives in how the pack survives after the hunt. Food is carried back to pups and to individuals that remained at the den. The young do not have to stand in the most dangerous place to be fed by the success of the group. A meal does not belong only to the first animal that bites. It is redistributed into the future of the pack. But pack life also has a cost. A larger group is easier to hear. More movement increases the chance of crossing lion territory. And on the savannah, lions do not only steal food. They can kill wild dogs as competitors. The female wild dog lifts her head from the meal. Her ears stiffen. Far away, a low sound moves through the wind. The pack has just won through endurance. But if lions are coming, endurance is no longer the answer. Now the pack must choose between a few more mouthfuls and the living route back to the den. And if wild dogs survive by refusing to leave members behind, another hunter in Kruger follows the opposite method. Live alone, hunt alone, and hide every victory from the entire savannah. "30 feet. If the leopard closes the distance to that range, the prey has almost already lost its chance to run. In Kruger, the female leopard moves beneath the low canopy. She does not move fast. She does not make sound. Her spotted coat fractures the body outline between leaves, tree trunks, darkness, and the remaining strips of light. She is raising cubs. 2 young lie deep inside the brush, where the smell of soil helps cover the scent of milk. They cannot follow her yet. They do not know which routes avoid hyenas. They are not old enough to hold still when strange feet move nearby, so everything tonight rests on the mother's body. The leopard has no pride behind her. She survives through silence and extremely short distance. Her prey does not need to be chased for long. It only needs to be approached too closely before danger is detected. The leopard's eyes are built for low light. A reflective layer behind the retina lets her use the small amount of light left in the night. Her ears rotate to isolate small sounds in the grass. Her whiskers rid the brush, helping her pass through cover without striking dry branches. Soft pads, retracted claws. Each step lands as if the ground has not been touched. Ahead, a small antelope stands beneath a low branch. The size is right, too large, and the leopard will struggle to lift it into a tree. Too small, and the work of the night will not justify the risk. The female leopard stops. One short charge, one suppressed sound in the grass. When the leaves stop shaking, the prey lies beneath her body. The kill ends fast. But for the leopard, killing is only the first half of the work. Blood begins to speak. Hyenas can track the scent. Lions can arrive if they read disturbance on the grassland. On the ground, the leopard holds limited authority. So the meal has to go up. But staying on the ground is more dangerous. In short pulls, she lifts the reward beyond the reach of stronger mouths. On a high branch, the rules change. Hyenas can only stand below. Lions can apply pressure, but stealing a carcass placed correctly is not easy. For the leopard, a tree is not only a resting place. It is a food store, a distance barrier, one rare strip of safety in a land with too many mouths. Kruger holds many leopards, but seeing them remains difficult. Not because they are absent, because even when they are close, they know how to mislead the eye. The female leopard eats a small portion. Then she stops. Her head turns toward the brush where her cubs are waiting. High above ground, the meal is temporarily secure, but below, two small lives still lie in darkness where no branch can cover every danger. The leopard can hide victory in a tree, but her cubs still have to survive a night full of animals that know how to listen. Bright moonlight can make lions hungrier. In Kruger, a lioness lies low behind brush. She is not watching the whole zebra herd. She is watching the gaps between striped bodies where a foal may drift from its mother or a startled individual may separate itself from the living line. The other females are already in position. No roar, no chaotic rush. One lioness holds the center to create pressure. The others sink into both flanks, waiting for the zebra herd to run itself into a narrow corridor. In darkness, lion power does not come from noise. It comes from each body knowing where it must stand. By day, lions appear to spend most of their time resting. But night, is when their real advantage opens. Their eyes are far more sensitive to low light than human eyes, aided by the reflective layer behind the retina. When prey sees only shadow, lions can still read the running line, the brush edge, the opening, and the wind direction. The moon also enters the hunt. In 2011, Craig Packer published work in PLOS 1 showing that the lunar cycle affects lion activity. Bright moonlit nights reduce movement and make hunting harder because prey can detect danger earlier. When darkness returns, hunger inside the pride has become thicker. A fallen animal does not always belong to the one that killed it. On the grassland, the female cheetah has taken only a few mouthfuls when she stops. Her head lifts, her ears rotate into the wind. There is no lion shape in front of her, no clear hyena call yet. But her body has already registered what the eyes have not confirmed. Something is coming. This is the less visible part of the savannah. After the sprint, after the bite, after the moment prey hits the ground, the contest is not finished. Another hunt begins around the prize. Kleptoparasitism is not a side event. It is an underground law. In regions such as the Serengeti and Ngorongoro, lions can obtain a major portion of food by taking kills from other species. That does not make the lion less effective. It shows that energy on the savannah is so valuable that the strong do not ignore meals. But even the hyenas are not secure. From distance, a low roar moves through the ground. Spotted heads lift at the same time. The meal that just changed ownership may be about to change ownership again. On the savannah, fairness does not hold ground for long. Only distance, numbers. Strength, and the decision to withdraw at the right moment. The female cheetah disappears into the grass, stomach not full, but body intact. Behind her, the carcass is torn down piece by piece. Ahead of her, the cubs still wait. Killing prey is difficult, but keeping it when the entire grassland also wants to feed is the problem no species has fully solved. The laugh makes hyenas easy to underestimate. But beside a carcass, no individual is allowed to stand in the wrong place. The female spotted hyena steps forward first. High shoulders, low head. Other individuals move closer, then back away when she turns. There is no major fight. There does not need to be. Rank is already present before blood reaches the grass. To many people, the hyena is a scavenger, a laugh in the night, a shadow behind the lion. But on the savannah, that view is too simple. The spotted hyena hunts, steals, remembers, and lives in a society where every position carries a cost. Their laugh is not joy. It can signal stress, warning, lower status, or the agitation of an individual waiting for access. In darkness, that sound helps the clan know who is approaching, who is yielding, and who is pressing for a share. At the center of hyena society is the female. Spotted hyena females usually outrank males, and young grow into that order from the beginning. A cub learns through distance. Through the mother's eyes, through where it can stand near a carcass and where it cannot. Those lessons are not gentle, but they help keep the clan from breaking apart during feeding conflict. In 2009, Christine Dreyer at Duke University tested cooperative problem-solving in spotted hyenas. The results forced many observers to reconsider them. They coordinated quickly, read social signals well, and solved certain cooperative tasks with strong efficiency. Beneath the laugh is a mind constantly calculating. A young individual steps too close. The dominant female only lifts her muzzle. The younger animal retreats immediately. Spotted hyenas do not only take meat. Their jaws process what many species leave behind: bone, hide, tendon, marrow. Because of that, carcasses disappear faster, and the grassland retains less material that can attract disease and insects. Seen more carefully, the roughness of the hyena is also part of the ecosystem's cleanup system. But intelligence does not erase every danger. The lion remains the largest shadow over hyena life. When a roar moves closer, the clan must measure the situation again. Are there enough bodies to hold the kill? Are cubs nearby? Is the meat left on the carcass worth the cost? The female hyena stands still inside the ring of blood. She listens, the others watch her. Then the clan shifts, not leaving, but not fully staying. That is the real nature of the spotted hyena, not the joke of the savannah. A society that knows when to bite, when to yield, and when to return with greater numbers. Nearly 2 million wildebeest have to keep moving even when the river ahead promises none of them a return. On the Mara bank, the herd compresses into a single massive body. Dust clings to their backs. Breathing and hoofbeats press into one another. No individual wants to be first into the water. But behind them, the old grassland is fading. Ahead lies new food. The Great Migration is not a beautiful scene made for distance. It is a survival decision repeated season after season. Wildebeest, zebras and gazelles follow rain. New grass and the chance to keep their young alive for a few more weeks. And the Mara River is the narrow gate the entire journey must pass through. A female wildebeest stands close to the edge. She tests the water scent, then steps back half a pace. But behind her, thousands of bodies keep pushing forward. The fear response of one animal cannot overpower the hydraulic pressure of the herd. Then the first body drops. The whole riverbank breaks open. Water erupts. Bodies plunge in one after another. A calf is pulled offline from its mother. A zebra forces its head above the surface. Beneath that murk, danger is already waiting, but this section does not belong only to crocodiles. The Mara also kills through current, compression, exhaustion and panic. One body vanishes from the swimming line. The herd continues. Stopping is not possible. At the scale of the Great Migration, the death of one individual cannot halt the movement. The survivors have to climb the opposite bank, shake water from their coats, and continue toward grass. If they remain too long, they lose the same chance of life. That drove them here in the first place: hunger and thirst. The female wildebeest reaches the bank. Her legs tremble. She pauses for one beat, then the herd behind her drives her forward again. There is no time to hold attention on the river. The Mara does not need to chase anything. It only lies between hunger and new grass, forcing the herd into its test. Behind them, dust begins to rise again on the old bank. Another group is coming, and beneath the muddy surface, the waiting predators are only beginning their work. 22,000 newtons in one bite, and it does not need to run a single foot. Beneath the muddy water of the Mara River, the Nile crocodile lies exactly where the migration has no choice but to cross. Only eyes and nostrils break the surface. The rest of the body disappears into mud, current, and the panic descending from both banks. The crocodile does not hunt like a cheetah. It does not grind prey down like wild dogs. It does not need formation like lions. It wins by conserving every movement. Low metabolism allows the crocodile to go long periods without food, waiting until the migration delivers prey directly into striking range. A young wildebeest slips out of the swimming line. The surface breaks. A bite closes. When the foam clears, the herd is still crossing, but one body has disappeared. The crocodile jaw is built to hold. When prey is too large, water becomes an ally, helping the reptile rotate its body and tear flesh. Clean, crude. Efficient, but the crocodile is not only death beneath the water. It pulls nutrients from the grassland into the river. Flesh enters fish, mud, and smaller organisms below the surface. Part of the migrating herd becomes energy for the entire aquatic system. The old crocodile rises after the meal. No urgency, no need to chase the herd. On the bank, new bodies crowd toward the waterline. And beneath the muddy layer, more than one pair of eyes is waiting. The Mara River is not dangerous only because of carnivores. One grazing animal also forces the entire river channel to keep distance. In a quiet stretch of water, a hippopotamus lies almost motionless. That appearance is easy to misread. Hippos do not hunt prey. They do not ambush beneath water like crocodiles. But any animal stepping down to drink has to calculate its distance from them. By day, hippos remain in water to avoid solar heat and prevent the skin from drying. The river is shelter. But it is not neutral ground. A dominant male can hold an entire section of water, and when a rival moves too close, stillness can disappear fast. The jaw opens wide, canines show. Heavy breath pushes across the surface. Most confrontations do not need to end in death. The message is already clear. Move back or pay the cost. When night falls, hippos leave the river to graze. They follow old trails, cut low grass, then return to the water before the sun hardens again. That rhythm connects grassland to river. Food from the bank enters the hippo body, then nutrients return to the water, feeding smaller links below the surface. A calf floats close to its mother. The female shifts her body, placing herself between the calf and open water. No soft gesture is required, only the correct position. Crocodiles are the fear beneath the surface, but in many river stretches, the hippo is the reason herds stop before drinking. The water becomes still again, but still does not mean empty. When an unfamiliar male enters that river section, silence can break before any animal has time to step away. 10 feet straight into the air, enough for a bird to vanish from the sky. Inside tall grass, a serval still. It does not scan long distance like a cheetah, it listens. Large ears rotate toward tiny sounds below the grass layer, a rodent shifting position, a stem brushing the ground, a pulse of life almost too small to register. The serval is built for terrain where vision is always fractured. Long legs raise the body above the grass. A light frame lets it launch fast, but the real weapon sits in the ears. When prey seems to have disappeared beneath cover, sound still leaves a path. The serval tilts its head, stops, then launches. When the body lands on the exact point, the small prey has no remaining opening. In drier country, the caracal lives by a different moment. It does not need tall grass. It needs open ground, low brush, stone, and a bird flying slightly too low. Black ear tufts make the face easy to recognize, but the meal is decided by the hind legs. A flock drops across the brush edge. The caracal fires upward. The scene lasts only one beat. When it returns to the ground, one pair of wings has gone still. The serval hunts what is hidden beneath grass. The caracal takes opportunity from the air. Both live beneath the shadow of larger species, but they do not try to claim the same part of the savanna. They choose narrow openings, a sound under the ground, a low flight line, a moment that lions and hyenas do not use. That is the survival method of small hunters. No need to dominate, only the need to be precise. A carcass left too long can make the entire grassland pay. High above Masai Mara, vultures circle in wide silence. They do not need noise. One body lying at the wrong angle, one herd avoiding a patch of ground, or the remains of a lion meal can be enough to pull them lower. To many people, the arrival of vultures means death has come. To the grassland, it means the final work has begun. Carrion disappears faster. Pathogens have less time to move through water, soil, insects, and other scavengers. The work is not beautiful through human eyes, but without it, death would remain longer on the ground. Lower down, on an acacia branch, the lilac-breasted roller waits. Its color makes it easy to remember as one of Kenya's living symbols. But it is not only a bright body on a branch. It hunts large insects, small lizards, and sometimes young snakes. One short dive, one prey animal disappears. Then the branch becomes still again. At Lake Naivasha, the sky touches the water in another way. The African fish eagle stands on a branch at the lake edge. It does not need much flight. It only needs to detect one movement beneath the surface. When a fish rises near the lake skin, the eagle drops, talons open, and strikes the water in one clean beat. The fish leaves the lake. From carcasses on grass, to small motion in brush, to the surface of Naivasha, a lake too severe for many species can still feed an entire pink sky. At Lake Nakuru, a flamingo lowers its head into shallow water. The bill works through soft mud, filtering algae and organisms so small the human eye almost passes over them. It is not searching for large prey. It survives on life that is tiny, abundant, and easy to lose when the lake shifts rhythm. Those small organisms create the pink. The color of a flamingo is not decoration. Pigments from food enter the body, settle into feathers, and turn the flock into a living signal of the lake. When the water chemistry is right and food is dense enough, thousands of birds gather. When water levels change and food declines, that pink can leave the lake surface within one season. Nakuru, Bogoria, Magadi. Kenya's alkaline lakes are not easy places for many species to inhabit. Saline water, hard sun, conditions that shift quickly. But for flamingos, that severity opens a private feeding ground. Where many species cannot remain, they find enough food to hold entire flocks. A young bird walks close between long legs. Its feathers are not bright yet. Its steps are still unsteady. It learns by lowering its head, filtering water, moving forward, and staying close enough to the flock. Numbers reduce risk, but they do not erase danger. Young birds can still be taken. Eggs can still be lost. And the most dangerous threat does not always have teeth. Sometimes it is only a lake drying down, or food withdrawing, or rain arriving out of rhythm. The beauty of flamingos is not a peaceful picture. It is a life dependent on water chemistry, algae, rain and season. If the lake changes, the flock must change. When flamingos lift into flight, pink leaves the water like a signal moving elsewhere. Below them, the lake remains. But the question has changed. If the food source disappears, will the sky return pink the next time? An animal that hunts nothing can reshape an entire land through feeding. At Lake Nakuru, the white rhinoceros lowers its head over short grass. A wide square mouth cuts close to the ground, taking down tight patches of vegetation. There is no hunt, no charge, no roar. But behind each slow step, the grassland is kept open for many other species. The feeding pattern of the white rhinoceros prevents grass from growing too dense. Those open spaces help smaller grazers move more easily, see farther, and avoid being buried beneath tall cover. The weight of the white rhinoceros does not live only in the body. It lives in the trace left after every graze. Nearby, a calf stays close to its mother. It learns through slow lessons when to stop, which direction carries the wind. Which route may lead to water? For the white rhinoceros, the calf's survival depends on the narrow distance between mother and young. But the grassland is not shaped only at ground level. Farther north, Samburu is drier and more thorned. There, the reticulated giraffe moves through acacia country. Lifting its neck into a feeding layer many species cannot reach. The dark tongue strips leaves from thorns. Each feeding pass thins the canopy, letting light fall through and opening opportunity for grass, seedlings, insects, and lower feeding herbivores. One species keeps the ground open. Another keeps the canopy from closing too tightly. But in Samburu, survival depends on something harder: distance to water. Grevy's zebra moves through low brush and sparse grass, large ears fixed toward far sound. Fine stripes, tall body, strong endurance. All of it belongs to a species built for dry country. Females guide foals across long distances to find water, where one wrong turn can carry a heavy cost. Grevy's zebra is threatened. So every surviving foal is not only a result of one breeding season, it is a small part of the species' future. Rhinos keep grass low. Giraffes open the tree layer. Grevy's zebras connect dry fragments of land through roots to water. None of them stands at the center of the hunt. But if they disappear, the savanna will no longer hold its old shape. And when the dry season stretches longer, the question begins to shift. Not only who can eat what, but who can still find water before the young weaken. If an old female elephant remembers the wrong path to water, the entire herd can pay. In Amboseli, the matriarch walks ahead while the sun is still low. Her trunk lowers to the ground, reading dust scent. Dry grass scent and the faint trace of water still far away. Behind her are offspring, grandchildren, and smaller bodies moving through her experience. She is not only leading, she is holding memory. Elephants carry strength, but in the dry season, strength is not enough. The herd needs to know where water remains. Which route was once safe? Which region should be avoided? Which place still holds food when the grassland has burned yellow? These details are not written on the ground. They are stored inside the oldest female, preserved through years of crossing the same land. A calf stumbles into dry mud. The entire herd slows. One female touches it with her trunk. Another stands outside as a shield. There is no large display, only a very old rule. The weakest body must not be left behind. In South Luangwa, the dry season makes that rule harder to maintain. The river pulls back, waterholes shrink, the bank cracks open. The elephant herd must travel farther, following routes only the matriarch still knows clearly. She stops in a dry riverbed. Her front foot digs into the sand. Her trunk tests for moisture. A thin line of water appears. The calves move closer. Small trunks touch down first, clumsy and urgent. The adults stand around them, drinking and watching at the same time. There is no blood in this scene. But this is still survival. An elephant herd gets through drought not only through body size, but through memory, cooperation, and the patience of an old mother. Memory has carried the herd through many dry seasons. But memory works only when the land still follows the old rules, and the land is changing. A water source that once saved the herd can dry out. An old route can become unsafe. Memory remains valuable. But memory is also tested when dry seasons become more severe. The old female elephant lifts her head. The herd behind her waits for the decision. If she chooses correctly, the family gains one more day. If she is wrong, the savanna will not correct the path for them.